Kylian Mbappe is a World Cup winner and a superstar for PSG. This great player must be loved by all, right? Well, it turns out that Mbappe has made his fair share of enemies during his playing career, and not just opposing players either. Some of Mbappe's own teammates for club and country have a problem with the speed merchant. We'll start with a feud which threatened to split the PSG dressing room. When Neymar joined PSG from Barcelona, he became the biggest signing in their history. Neymar is a Brazilian icon with millions of adoring fans across the globe, and one of the ultimate superstar players. The problem was that Neymar was joining a club where Kylian Mbappe is considered the golden boy. Being a rising French star, Mbappe is adored by his fans, and his recent bumper contract has made Mbappe the most influential player at the club. Mbappe has an ego, and Neymar also does, so inevitably the pair were going to clash. Although they initially got on well, the relationship soured when Mbappe began testing the limits of his power at the club. Neymar was getting annoyed, and the problems came to a head on the pitch. PSG were awarded a penalty against Montpellier. Mbappe tried to claim the spot kick, but Neymar argued with him as Mbappe had already missed one during the game, and Neymar eventually took the kick. But it was clear that the trouble between these two players was affecting the team, and Neymar also found out that Mbappe had tried to get the Brazilian striker moved on in the summer of 2022. Mbappe didn't like anyone overshadowing his power in the dressing room. But is it just Neymar? When Messi followed Neymar from Barcelona to PSG, he proved to be another star at PSG. They could boast a three-man attacking force that was more impressive than any other team as three of the most recognizable players in the world. The truth is that all three of these world legends find it difficult to play with each other, and Mbappe doesn't like having to share the spotlight with Messi and Neymar. It's also obvious that Messi is now the undisputed GOAT, and this annoys Mbappe a lot. Because PSG want to implement a front press, the team has struggled. Messi is 35 now and doesn't have the stamina he used to, and he's also never been known as a player who presses. Neymar is similar, and even though Mbappe has a great engine and youth on his side, he presses the least of the three. Messi thinks Mbappe is lazy, and the feeling is mutual. Mbappe loves playing with Giroud for France because Giroud plays centrally and provides a physical presence that creates space for him to play from the left. Messi also came from Barcelona, where he was always the most powerful player in the dressing room. But at PSG, Mbappe's recent contract has given him the kind of power we've never seen a player granted. Although Messi and Neymar's link-up play has improved as a duo, it hasn't quite clicked for Messi and Mbappe in the PSG attack. Tensions were high between the pair during the World Cup final too, and Messi and Mbappe both celebrated their goals in front of each other. They were definitely trying to wind each other up. Let's also not forget a big reason Messi may not like Mbappe. Mbappe is Team Ronaldo. Sue was Mbappe's role model growing up, and the pair have a better relationship than Mbappe does with his actual teammate Messi. After helping Argentina win the Qatar World Cup at the expense of Mbappe's French side, Emiliano Martinez found himself in a big controversy. Martinez won the Golden Glove, awarded to the best goalkeeper of the World Cup. That wouldn't usually be an issue, but Martinez became public enemy number one in France due to his crude celebrations and appearing to mock the French team, particularly Mbappe. Mbappe was particularly annoyed with Martinez. After all, Martinez's heroics in the game denied Mbappe his second World Cup in a row. The feeling of hate was mutual though, and Martinez thought France, and especially Mbappe, had sour grapes. But even though Argentina won, Martinez also conceded 4 goals to Mbappe on the day, which for any goalkeeper always burns. Mbappe is also pretty arrogant and feels like he is one of the best players in the world. He plays for PSG, one of the richest clubs in the world, playing Champions League football every year. For Martinez, performing at a mid-table Premier League club like Aston Villa, Mbappe's superiority complex must be crazy annoying. Back to the PSG dressing room now. Sergio Ramos isn't exactly the most liked player in the game. He plays so aggressively and has a dirty streak in how he approaches games. Yep, plenty of people consider Ramos to be one of the most hated players in football. But he's also widely considered one of the greatest defenders to ever play the game. He's now a senior statesman, and like Messi and Neymar, moved from La Liga to the riches of PSG. Ramos has won so much, and quite rightfully, he demands respect. Here's the thing, Ramos also expects his fellow senior players to be respected by the younger players. Mbappe is only 24, and his power at the club has maybe caused him to disrespect senior stars like Messi, Neymar, and Ramos. During one game, Mbappe bumped shoulders with Messi. It seemed like an act of disrespect, and this will have annoyed Messi, but it also really pissed off Ramos. During a training session, Ramos bumped into Mbappe and had a few stern words in his ear. It would appear that he was bringing up that Messi incident, and it's likely that Mbappe was given a timely reminder that the old boys must be respected. For Mbappe's sake, I hope he's learned that if there's one dude you never argue with, it's Sergio Ramos. While we're at it, Wayne Rooney also noticed this disrespect and decided to remind Mbappe exactly how much more Messi had achieved by the time he was Mbappe's age, which was 4 Ballon d'Ors. Ouch. How about another teammate who has torn strips out of Mbappe? Like we talked about, Mbappe loves playing with Giroud. The physical presence he brings to the central striking role allows a lot more space for Mbappe to play in, and Giroud does a lot of the hard work, which allows Mbappe to focus purely on his own game. Sure, we can see why Mbappe likes having that support, but is it respect or is it just that he loves what Giroud does for him? Well, Giroud doesn't feel the same, and it seems it's a give-and-take relationship, and Mbappe is all take. During a Euro 2020 game against Bulgaria, Giroud was having a tough time in the game and wasn't getting the ball, but that wasn't due to lack of effort on his part. He was making the runs, but in the post-match conference, Giroud suggested that Mbappe was not passing him the ball when he'd taken up good positions. Mbappe was playing selfishly, and this was frustrating for Giroud. Mbappe wasn't happy that Giroud spoke out during a press conference, and that probably made their relationship even more difficult, but not as difficult as Mbappe's relationship with Paul Pogba. If there's one French star who can match Mbappe for ego, it's probably Paul Pogba, and the mercurial midfielder has often been accused of being lazy and not working for his teammates. However, the problems between Mbappe and Pogba are especially bizarre, and it's all down to witchcraft. No, we're serious. The players had a big problem with each other, and even Paul's brother got involved in the bizarre rivalry. He sent a direct message to Kylian regarding Paul, who he accused of using a witch doctor to curse Mbappe. When everything is said, people will see that there is no bigger coward, bigger traitor, and bigger hypocrite than you on this earth. Kylian, now do you understand? I have no negative feelings towards you. My words are for your good. Everything is true and proven. The witch doctor is known. Sorry about this, Kylian, a so-called Muslim deep in witchcraft. It's never good to have a hypocrite and a traitor like Paul near you. Okay, maybe this is Matthias Pogba demonstrating his gift for lying, but nothing surprises us with Paul Pogba. Let's take a look at another former Manchester United player who hates Mbappe. Gerard Piqué is pretty forthright when it comes to his rivals. He was less than complimentary about Cristiano Ronaldo and firmly endorsed his old pal Lionel Messi as the GOAT. He also accused Ronaldo of being a diver, and Piqué really doesn't like Mbappe. Why? Well, a big part of this is because Mbappe destroyed Piqué and his teammates when PSG beat Barcelona 4-1 at the Nou Camp. Mbappe's hat trick was bad enough, but then he also started mocking the Barca players. Jordi Alba reacted and squared up to Mbappe, but Kylian, who speaks perfect Spanish, wasn't concerned, and he told Alba he'd kill him in the streets. Piqué overheard and stepped in, making it clear that Mbappe was cruising for a bruising. Yeah, Mbappe may fancy his chances against Alba in a fight, but Piqué is a big unit. Piqué accused Mbappe of being disrespectful, but Alba was a little more gracious, saying Mbappe was just young and inexperienced. He had to learn. Former Tottenham player and Cameroon legend Benoit Asuakoto has a pretty low opinion of Mbappe. Not just Kylian, however. Asuakoto has a bone to pick with a lot of African heritage players who opt to play for France over their African nation. Now you might think Akoto is being a little harsh on Mbappe, given Kylian was born in Paris and has been raised in France, but the ex-Spurs left back stood by his claim, disappointed in Mbappe for picking France over Cameroon from his father's side or Algeria from his mother's. Mbappe will of course point to the fact that he's won a World Cup for France and taken them to another final. Although Asuakoto was critical of Mbappe, another ex-Cameroon icon, Samuel Eto'o, defended Mbappe's decision, recognizing just how talented France's new superstar is. Where do you stand with Mbappe? Is he really so hard to like or just misunderstood?